Support for Mission Nonprofit is provided by Thurston Talk. Hi, my name's Andrea Capere, and you're watching Mission Nonprofit. Each month, we connect with local organizations and agencies that are making a positive impact in our communities. We've invited Jeff Barehand and Misa Martinez from the Olympia Film Collective to talk about their work. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. Well, tell us about your work. What's OFC?
The OFC is a nonprofit, a local nonprofit, whose mission is to encourage and support independent filmmaking in the South Sound and to also support diversity and inclusion efforts for women and people of color in the film industry.
Mm-hmm. And how do you accomplish that?
We accomplish our mission by providing opportunities throughout the year, calendar year, every month actually, to meet and to network. Every second Sunday we have a space at 113 Thurston Avenue in downtown Olympia, the second floor of the steam plant building if you're familiar with it. And we have a chance to network and share what each of us is doing in terms of filmmaking, where we're at. It's not just filmmakers, but it's also open for actors and producers, anybody who wants to work in the film industry. Because it takes a village and you need a lot of different types of people, different people doing different jobs to accomplish and to successfully produce a film.
Mm-hmm. I would call it like a safe space for creative people, but also it's a place that fosters like innovation, connection, and experimentation, like with different gears, like different gear, script writing. So there are a lot of skills that are like part of filmmaking, and we have a space where you can feel safe to push the boundaries of what you want to do or
and
what you want to accomplish.
Explore your own creativity.
Yeah, and it is important because our collective we are a mixed bag of people. So we have professional freelancers, business owners. We have like organizational filmmakers, like they work for the government or they work for a company. Also, we have what we call weekend warriors, people that they have other works. They are maybe accountants, maybe they work like public works. But on the weekends, they like to do films. We have students and we have retired people as well. So we have all these people like working together under the same roof, connecting, finding out about each other. So like we foster a lot of wonderful things at the OFC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's your role, and what do you do at the OFC, and what's your specialty?
Okay, officially I'm the marketing committee chair, also part of the board, also a board member. But since as much small nonprofits like ours, we do a little bit of everything. So like a Swiss Army, Swiss Army knife. So sometimes I'm doing marketing, sometimes I'm shooting, sometimes I'm doing something else. So whatever is required to keep the organization going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also the chair of the resource committee. Well, that's the nice word for fundraising.
Yeah.
The fundraising committee. But I'm also board chair. I've been board chair actually since the OFC started as a nonprofit. I wanted to comment on what Misa said about a safe space. I mean, that's actually how the OFC got started. When I first moved to Olympia, I was into filmmaking and I looked around in the area and I couldn't find any sort of organization or a group that actually met. I tried the different various meetups and those type of things, and then I had to resort to Craigslist actually to find people who were interested in filmmaking. So, searching Craigslist is not the greatest thing in the world, and especially the types of people that come out of Craigslist. Not to poo-poo Craigslist at all, but I'm just saying that you got to be careful. And so I wanted, I wanted to, from that get-go, when it was difficult to find people, I wanted to create that safe space. I wanted to create that organization that would become the Olympia Film Collective. And, so the story, actually, the story that started this all was that I moved here, and at the same time, Riley Gibson, who is actually my business partner at Skybear Media today, we met each other through that Craigslist ad. He posted something and I responded to it. And then I had this short film that I wanted to make. And so that's how we found each other. And he came on board at the same time. Russell Brooks moved to Olympia, and he was my friend and was interested in filmmaking and wanted to get on this whole thing. And he's the one that actually unearthed this short film script that I wrote as an exercise in writing. And it was only 2 people, 3 locations, so it's really easy to film. So we thought we could just knock this out in a weekend. So we had Russell, we had Riley, we had myself, and then we found this cinematographer also named Dylan Glockler, who was out of Montesano. And so we actually met out in Montesano for that first meeting in the library in Montesano, and we talked about filmmaking, and we talked about the script that was called The Sweet Sorrow at the time. And we planned together to make this short film. We shot it. We shot it locally. We shot it here in Olympia. We shot it at the Broho, the bar in what used to be the Volcano, Vapor Cafe across the way. It's not there anymore. And in the alley next to Broho. So it was just 3 locations and really quick. We shot it on a Friday, I think Saturday night, and that was it. And we had such a good time making it that we realized, we need to make another one. Here's the funny part of this story, or more interesting part, is that our actor at the time, he was living on a boat in the Sound, and it had a hole in it. So he was repairing this boat in the middle of winter in December. And it was really cold. I felt really bad for him, so I just offered my place, come stay with us until, for as long as you want, whatever. And he did, and he was really grateful. And at the time, he was a web designer. So then we were just up late one night talking, and he asked me, well, I want to pay you back, I can make you a website. And I was like, well, I don't know if I need one. He's like, well, yeah, for your group. I'll make one for your group. And so, what group? You guys, you get the filmmakers. It's like, oh,
I guess we're good now.
Ding. Yeah, and that's when it popped up in my mind. It's like, yeah, we are. We're going to do something. And that time, moved here, and I heard the word collective a lot in terms of people helping each other. And so Olympia Film is what we did, collective, and that's how that came about. And it was really just that night figuring out what it's called and how because we had to buy the domain, so he could start on that project, and that's really how it happened.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, that was in December 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, December 2012 was the very first time I would consider the collective an organization. And from then, since then, we've just been adding members and adding, friends really, getting together and discussing film, making films, and so it's really just been an open collective. We've always invited anybody in Thurston County or anybody in the community to come get involved and to participate and to contribute and to learn and grow together. And that's really been our goal. It's been very successful.
And we have some examples of your work to share. We have a compilation, right, of some of the works that you and others in the collective have put together.
We do.
Yeah.
So I guess we can watch that now.
Yeah, let's take a look. So that was really great. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun to do. And we do that, I mean, all the time. We make short films, and that's what we do. Our end goal, actually, is to transition into feature films eventually, to start being a major contributor to the film industry in the Northwest. I mean, you might hear about Seattle, you might hear about Portland, but, you know, we're the upstarts in Olympia here. You know, we want to grow and become a part of that corridor.
That's
you know,
right.
from LA to Vancouver.
Yeah, actually, that is, I think since the collective is around, usually there's a lot of, I can say there's a ripple effect regarding filmmaking in Olympia. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, people think, okay, filmmaking, that's something up that belongs to Seattle, Tacoma, but I will say lately, companies, nonprofits, organizations are looking more towards Olympia, so trying to do stuff locally. And not only non-commercial stuff, also commercial work, documentary work. So we're becoming a little bit more like a destination. So, and of course, it's fostered a lot of the local economy as well, you know, and help us to earn a living and keep doing this work as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the Olympia Film Collective, we have a lot of programs that are geared towards learning about how the film process works, from script writing groups to the documentary groups. We also have something called a studio, where we it's sort of a crash course in filmmaking where people just gather, and in 4 hours we practice a technical movement with a camera.
Sometimes we see techniques at the movies. It's like, okay, I want to try to do that. So we get the studio here at TC Media, and we try to replicate that and learn how to do that. So that's the way you learn to do new skills, by trying and trying and trying again. So we do that a lot at the studio. So
the studio is also great for actors. It's because we normally do need actors. Because we're filming like a scene, and it's scene work really, and ultimately there's a director and there's actors, and if you're a director, you need the actors to practice your craft in terms of getting the performance out of them. If you're an actor, you just got to be acting all the time. It's about the the exercise of that craft and making it better each time. Performance, you got to perform, or you're not going to improve. So not only do we handle the writing process, but we also have these outreach programs. Like I said earlier, part of the mission of the OFC is to increase the diversity and inclusion of people of color and women in the film industry. And we do that in 2 ways. We have something called the Intertribal Youth Film Project, which is open to all self-identifying Native American youth in Thurston County, and also the local tribes, the Nisqually, the Chehalis, and Squaxin Island peoples. So we have this film camp where they come and we do this crash course in filmmaking over 2 days.
Over 2 days, yeah.
Yeah. So we have the opportunities, we want to expand that opportunity and make it more of a, this sort of institution. I'd been doing film camps with youth for quite a while, and I'd seen how the film camps operate. And a lot of what they do is they come in for only a short amount of time, and then they leave. And then there's no support, no consistency in the lives of those children. So I thought, well, we're here to stay. The Olympia Film Collective is here serving Thurston County residents. We might as well reach out to our neighboring tribes and offer this programming to them, so that at least we're being consistent in our offerings, and that those kids, once, if something sparks in them and they want to continue in filmmaking, they will have an outlet to go to. They will have someone to see as a mentor, and they can learn by doing. So that's what we offer them. The other portion in helping the role of women in film, we offer local Girl Scout troops that pretty much the same programming, but we help them earn their filmmaking badge, or what's it called, movie maker badge. And there's also an acting for the spotlight badge, so you can combine those 2 things and knock them out and get 2 badges just by coming to the OFC and going through a film program with us. So that's also a really great thing, just for young girls to be introduced to filmmaking and to also have that opportunity to see themselves in the future, be the next Kelly Reichardt or, a local woman making it good,
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Well, I love your work. And you've outlined what it is you do with local filmmakers, people interested in it or experienced in it, as well as some of those outreach efforts. So it might sound intimidating to someone, though. How do they get involved? Do they contact you?
They have to fill out a background application, and then we're going to be a committee. So, it's super easy. So
just show up.
Just show up. So,
Show up. We have an open door policy. Our main networking group meets every second Sunday at 1 o'clock. Every second Sunday at 1 o'clock. And at 113 Thurston Avenue, here just in downtown, it's a building called the Steam Plant.
Yeah, second floor of Holy Lab. So
just go to our website, olyfilm.com, olyfilm.com. You can put it down here on the screen. olyfilm.com.
Consider it done.
And just follow us on Facebook as well. We have a Facebook group page, and anybody's welcome to join that and just be apprised instantly of what's going on. That's probably the quickest way to find out or to be involved through the Facebook group page. But other than that...
do you need any other support? Like if someone is really committed to the mission, but they're not necessarily interested in getting in front of or behind the camera?
Are you talking about rich funders?
Donations or like people to go get you coffee?
We welcome every resource, from coffee all the way up. So, for example, you can do donations to the OFC. Of course, if you know about any grants, local grants that you can refer those to us. So, because we're always searching for new ways of funding, because that funding help us to keep our programming going on. So
You can also just reach us at info@olyfilm.com, info at olyfilm.com.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Okay. Well, anything else you care to share in the last few moments?
Yeah. Also, we have something else that we do. We have a couple of programs that we have in place. One is we have educational workshops every couple of months. We have workshops about screenwriting, editing, motion graphics. So if you keep searching out to our social media, so we post them every 3 or 4 months. We have a new one coming out. So also we have 2 different groups, because inside the OFC, of course, we have different kind of filmmakers. So different skill sets that you need to do a film. We have a screenwriters group that they meet also on top of our monthly general meeting. Also, we have a documentary, Olympia documentary group that is part of the OFC. We also meet once per month, and that group with the OFC, of course, we are building a huge event for next year. We are creating a collage of different documentaries related to art in the Thurston County area. So,
Our Thurston County group now. Our documentary group is very, very active. And it's really great to be a part of that group, because they came up with this idea. They attended a Portland event, a similar documentary camp, and I guess that Portland event.
We were taking part of an event down in Oregon that event was hosted by Northwest Documentary, and they were creating an event they were putting together probably 10, 12 documentaries. So we asked them how can we do this. And they open their doors, and they explain to us this is what you have to do, this is what you should do, this is where. So they gave us a blueprint to do the same thing here in Olympia. So now we're replicating it, but with a different with a different issue. So, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very collaborative, filmmakers helping filmmakers.
Yeah. Well, we're actually the doc group is actually putting together. There's about 10 documentarians that are making small short films, small docs that are going to be combined together to make one large program. Mm-hmm. And this is going to happen May 4th.
May 4th,
Capitol Theater. So we've rented out that
that's
venue
2020.
2020,
in 2020, and we did it with the idea of combining to coincide with Arts Walk, but the theater is already being rented, so we're doing it 1 week later on May 4th. But it's an opportunity to showcase local talent and local artists through the lens of the OSC filmmakers. So we each are choosing our own artist to showcase, and then we're combining all those into, we're going to somehow mesh,
create
edit
a
them together
yeah.
and do some sort of connection so that we have a broad piece to showcase to everyone on May 4th. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. I'm really excited to see what comes from that.
Thanks.
Yeah. And thank you both for coming.
Yeah. Thank you. We're done?
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's all we have for you. You can see Mission Nonprofit on Channel 77 on Sundays at 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays at 7 p.m., Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. You can also catch us online at tcmedia.org. See you next time. Support for Mission Nonprofit is provided by Thurston Talk.